Welcome back to RodiTV. I'm Chris, and on this, the very first interview of this channel, my guest hails from right here in Atlanta, Georgia. Show your support for me or any of the awesome artists that I have on this channel by sharing this video, click like, click subscribe, find us on social networks. Alright, let's do this thing. Joining me today is Sami Michelsen. Sami, what's up?
What's poppin'?
Thank you for doing this.
For sure.
I don't even know if I told you this, but you are interview number 1 on this YouTube channel.
Very good. I like that. I like being first.
You are the guinea pig.
So cool. I can take that.
This could all fall apart at any second now. Hopefully it doesn't. We'll see how this goes.
I'm a Gemini, so I'm used to things kind of crumbling around me. It's totally fine.
All right, so you have been busy, and specifically with your band Reptile Room. Tell me a little bit about that band and what you guys are up to.
Reptile Room is an electro-pop trio that I formed 2 years ago. We released an album with Ohm Records, which is Bass Nectar's record label, Cascades record label. So that was really cool. We did like a cold email to those guys, and they really liked Talk from the album Jade, and we ended up doing a record with them in August of last year, and we've just been working on a bunch of new material, new music videos, staying busy in spite of the pandemic. So that's been our main focus. And we also have a show here at the end of the month on the 30th at my friend's place. So it's a good time so far, but it's been very crazy adjusting to musician life in COVID land. It's tough.
When was your first show back?
We had like a private party in June. And then we played Bonfire ATL, which if anyone in Atlanta has not heard of or attended Bonfire ATL, you have to get a hold of it. Check it out on Instagram. Find it. Seek it out. It's amazing. It's incredible fun. But it's more of like a showcase, so we only did a few songs there. But haven't been performing as much as I would like to be performing lately, if I'm honest.
Right. I mean, the Bonfire ATL thing, I didn't even know that was a thing until you mentioned it to me before this. That is a weekly show that happens in Atlanta.
Yes.
And that was the first time you guys had played it?
We've played it a few times, actually, over the years. One of the co-founders, Terry Skywalker, is a big fan. He's always been really supportive of our work. So
is his last name Skywalker?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's tight. He's got this white beard.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he does. It's awesome.
How'd that show
cool,
go?
Man.
So you sent me the flyer for it, right? And I noticed it specifically circled the audience must wear masks or something like that. Like masks must be worn.
Yeah.
Did people adhere to that?
Some of them did.
That's what I figured. Like as the night goes on, the masks come off.
Pardon me. Yeah, it's I mean, it's just like the rest of the world. Some people are down with it. Some people do it in rebellion.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
So the Reptile Room stuff, tell me about the creative process, because, I watched your content on YouTube. And by the way, your videos are awesome, and we're going to get to that in just a second. But the music itself, like, how does that work out? Do you guys write the music first and then the lyrics, or do the lyrics come first?
Well, it's a bit of both. Sunlight, for instance, our most recent single, that one happened really randomly. The beat came together first there, and actually we were working on a different tune altogether. And then a new beat was formed on top of the old beat, and then a synth came in, and then we ripped it all apart and made it Sunlight, and then I wrote the lyrics. It took like 2 days, and I just shut myself away and wrote those lyrics. But one of our newer songs that is unreleased and currently top secret, I will tell you that it's called Shadows, which is going to be our next single. That one I wrote as more like poetry, and I wrote that lyrically first. And then we were sorting through some old files. We have like a creations catalog that we keep of thoughts and vibes that aren't really full thoughts. They're not complete yet. And we just kind of filtered through that file until I found something that vibed with the lyrics, and then I just kind of tweaked everything so that it fit the way I wanted it to. And we went from there, and it was pretty much done after that. So it just depends on what the vibe is. I try to lead with the thing that I'm most excited about, because there's no point, unless you're feeling completely uninspired, there's no point in just working on music to where it feels like work, you know? So I like to follow the excitement when I'm writing.
Sure, yeah. And the video to Sunlight, was that filmed in Atlanta?
Yeah, actually, all of the videos are filmed in Atlanta, and all of them were produced by us. Those are all self-done, self-made.
When you say self-made, like, is it literally the band behind the camera?
Yeah.
So you guys are filming yourselves and everything?
Yeah.
Who's doing the post-production on that?
We are.
That's amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, we shot all the videos for the Jade record, like Ghost and Midnight and Games and all that jazz. We shot all of that on a C100, and then we just used After Effects to edit it and add some cool LUTs, some cool effects. And that's basically it. Yeah, we just shot a video for our acoustic version of Sunlight, also filmed in Atlanta, but we shot that on a 4K Blackmagic Cinema Pro. So trying a different approach when it comes to gear, because C100 isn't a 4K camera, but it's been a really cool learning experience too. I actually went to college for film and television. I went to SCAD briefly, but I didn't finish, and this has been a redeeming part of my life, to be able to like go back and relive that passion that sent me to college in the first place. It's been cool.
I gotta ask this question because after watching a few of the videos, after watching each one, I'm like, there's something deeper happening in this video, and I'm too simple-minded to figure it out. You know, like specifically for like your video for Control, where it's like the cool lighting and stuff.
Oh.
There's a lot of like, how was it filming that video specifically, and how did you come up with that idea?
That was actually one of the most fun videos we've done to date, in my opinion. That song is all about the man and the industry that we work in, and the relationship between artists and labels, or like executives who aren't content creators, and just like the power struggle between the two. So I wanted everything to be very blank and neutral in a weird way, like the mind is meant to be a blank canvas at first before you start creating anything. So I painted everything in that scene. I painted it all white so that it has this very flat, almost asylum vibe. Because it's also about feeling trapped, you know, trapped by the man and his ways and his wants. And yeah, the lights are just supposed to signify the rebellion within. And it just kind of formed itself. Most of the videos that we make, we put ourselves on the spot and just try and have fun and be creative. Start with a simple idea and embellish it. So, yeah, it just kind of took form. I ended up having my now boyfriend walk in front of the camera, and he was supposed to represent me, devil, man, manifested in physical form. So, and that just kind of happened naturally. So, yeah, all of that is like a fight. It's a fight song for sure.
Definitely, very cool. I also want to touch on your other projects.
Please.
Alchemy's still active, right?
We are. We're active in an inactive sort of way.
So Alchemy's a lot different than Reptile Room. They're a little bit more rock and roll, a little bit more straightforward, kind of just old school.
Yeah, it's organic. It's more organic. It's jamming. I always called it riff rock because it reminded me of the way Rage Against the Machine had their gnarly riffs.
Yeah.
And they like to get down. But, you know, I'm a big Janis Joplin fan, big Imogen Heap fan. Plus, I'm a chick, so that blending of heavy riff and melody for me put me in a certain category. But we ended up like redefining ourselves in many different ways as the years went on. And I was in that group for I think like 8 years until we kind of, I mean, everybody quit.
Yeah.
Everybody quit, and except for my brother. And we tried replacing them, but they were co-writers, and it just didn't feel the same. And eventually, my brother quit. So in my heart, Alchemy lives, and it will always live. And we'll probably do another record here in the coming years, but
Oh, that's cool.
we are chilling right now.
Sure, yeah. I mean, and then sounds like you're pretty busy with the Reptile Room stuff anyway.
It's true. It's true.
All right, so I gotta ask, because the other project is Mother's Finest, who I guess are, kind of Atlanta legends, right?
Yeah, dude, they played a lot of people's proms.
Yeah, you got to tell me the story of how you got involved with Mother's Finest, because they've been, since the 70s?
Yeah.
They've been around forever, and how you got involved with them just a few years ago.
Yeah, so, funny story. Their drummer, okay, so let me give you some backstory. Mother's Finest, the two singers are Joyce and Doc. They're now, I don't want to put them on blast, but they're in their 70s. And they've been doing it like all this time. So their son is now an elder, and he's the drummer. He's the new drummer. So Dion is the drummer's name, and he found me because of Alchemy. He was looking on Reverb Nation, checking out Atlanta bands that rocked, like Atlanta rock bands, and he found Alchemy, and he was like, y'all are like the only ones that I mess with in this town, and you've got pipes, and would you want to go on a tour? That's how he started. He was like, do you want to go on a tour? And I was like, oh, yeah, I do. Let's go. He was like, it's going to be Germany, and blah, blah, blah. And can't get you all this money, but we'll get you some. And I was like, okay.
Had you heard them before?
That's cool. No, I mean, I knew of them because my mom was actually a really big fan.
Yeah.
My mom has their records. And I knew of Baby Love because it's such a hit. I knew about that one. But learning their catalog, it was actually a wonderful surprise because when I'm being hired for a gig, because I do covers and I do corporate stuff here and there as a freelance musician, but it is hard to sing some stuff you do not feel. It's hard, and it's not a place where you can survive and thrive if you're anything like me. If you don't feel what you're doing, you're not going to stay. So when I heard their material and really learned it, I was like, dude, this is jamming. I can get with this.
They're so diverse. I mean, so many different sounds. I don't even know how you would categorize it. I mean, they go from. I mean, they have borderline like heavy metal riffs all the way down to like funk, soul, R&B. Like they cover that whole spectrum.
It's true. I mean, like people have trouble putting them in a box, and I think
they like it that way too.
They love that. They love that. Yeah. I think they branded themselves as like funk, rock, metal, soul.
Yeah,
something like
I mean,
that.
That pretty much nails it.
Yeah, they really do that. They really go all, and that actually reminds me a lot of Alchemy. Like Alchemy did that in the sense that we have more of an emo pop song, like Call Me, and then we do Push, which was like an indie rock song, almost like an anthem, and then we do like Resistor, which is just like crazy heavy riffs. So it just changed a lot. So I respected that a lot when I heard Mother's Finest, and I think Dion kind of heard my versatility in Alchemy, and I think we just kind of saw each other on that.
Cool, no doubt. I mean, considering you have you yourself so many different styles, who are your biggest influences?
David Bowie.
Yeah.
One of my oh my god, I'm obsessed with David Bowie. Oh god, I literally wept when he died. I was on stage actually, and I found out he passed. And my then bass player was bartending, and he was like, "Do not tell Sammy that he just passed away." And of course, someone came in and told me
while you're on stage.
While I was on stage, and I had to take 15 and just like look at the moon and cry and pray, and then I went back in and we did Fame for like 15 minutes. We were like, let's just play Fame over and over again. So David Bowie, Prince, obviously. My dad brought me up on a lot of R&B and like Earth, Wind and Fire, Jagged Edge, Keith Sweat, Joe, like a lot of cats like that. Boys to Men. But then my mom got me hooked on like Fleetwood Mac and a lot of that classic rock stuff. I also I hung out with a classic rock DJ for like many moons, and he taught me a lot about classic rock. So I became really fond of Foreigner. Actually, is my guilty pleasure.
Hey, don't feel guilty about Foreigner. Foreigner's awesome.
They are awesome, but I still feel a little guilty. Sometimes when I hear it, I'm like, it's pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good. They're hard to deny. Who else? Janis Joplin. Imogen Heap, actually, is a British vocalist and engineer who is just brilliant the way that she does everything. And Jeff Buckley.
Oh, no doubt, yeah.
He's king. Yeah.
Cool. So,
and the Killers. Killers.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, definitely. The Killers are awesome.
Yes.
Very cool.
Sorry,
very
go
cool.
ahead.
No, I was just going to say, so what's next for you? I know you're headed into a session now, but what comes next for Reptile Room and your other projects?
Well, let's start with the latter. Mother's Finest. Man, I'm just sitting on ready for those cats. Like, we've had to postpone several tours, but hopefully when the world opens back up, we'll be able to go back over to
Do you think it's more difficult for Mother's Finest to play a gig right now because they have to play something a little bit bigger, whereas Reptile Room and Alchemy, if you wanted to, can play a little bit of a smaller venue and kind of get away with it?
Totally.
Because, I mean, you hear these stories right now how a bigger band tries to play, like Smash Mouth or Great White. These bands try to play, and then it hits headlines because they tried to fill a venue that was gigantic. And so it seems like the bigger guys right now are going to have to take a seat back, sit back a little bit, wait, and the smaller bands can come out and really get their name heard.
Yeah, I mean, what's interesting about that is that a lot of bands aren't really able to hit the venue stage anymore. We have to, create our own atmosphere now.
Right.
This gig that we're playing on the 30th of this month, October 30th, it'll be at a restaurant called Blue Top, and it's my buddy's restaurant. So we're basically just shutting it down and playing a late night set there because we can. But it's not a normal venue, so it's really a word of mouth kind of promotion, and it's just different, man. The whole world is different. And so for bands like Mother's Finest, they really have to just wait it out and hope for the best, a lot of these bands that I love, like Wilco, they had to postpone until August of next year. A lot of bands aren't even considering touring until August, September, November of 2021, which is basically 2022, bro. It's like, shoot, man.
Yeah.
And it's been really freaky because I've been a full-time musician for the past 6.5, 7 years at this point, and now I'm unemployed, which is madness because I'm self-employed. So it's all wrong, dude. But yeah, I mean, hopefully we'll be back on the road soon. With Alchemy, we're going to be writing some stuff, focusing on material and content. I'm probably going to lay really low, like the way David Bowie did in his last 5 years. He didn't put any pressure on himself, but he got to work, and that's definitely what I'm going to be doing with that group. And Reptile Room is on full tilt as much as we can be. We're trying to get plenty of syncs, plenty of those licenses pop in, trying to get our name out on television shows and films, and continuing to play where we can. On the 30th, we're very excited about that because I love performing and entertaining, and it's very disheartening to not be able to do that as regularly as I'm used to. But apart from that, man, just trying to stay creative, continuing our visual and musical journey. And just staying positive, man, because it's hard out here.
No doubt. That's all you got. That's all you have to do now, man. That's all you can do.
That's right. That's right.
So why don't you go ahead and plug your stuff? Where can people find you?
Okay, you can check out our website at www.reptileroommusic.com. Instagram is Reptile Room Official. Twitter is the same thing. We're all over the place, man. Alchemy Rock, you can find us on SoundCloud. And I think Reptile Room's going to be on SoundCloud very soon, too. I think we're launching a new tune through them, actually, through this really cool service that they're doing. So that'll be cool to look out for. I would say follow us on IG, get on the website, and join the newsletter so we can email you all the time, and you can stay in touch with us and find out what we're doing on the regular.
Absolutely. Now, if you YouTube Reptile Room, they might not find the band. Have you YouTubed Reptile Room?
That's true. That's true. I have a funny story about that, actually. So the name came from like a hybrid of different thoughts. I've since like given it its own meaning to me, but really the guys, Sean and Billy, were watching one of those Reptile Room videos where people show you their snakes and lizards.
Yeah.
And this guy's like, all right, let's take a look at the Reptile Room. And you can actually hear that sample at the very beginning of Games off Jade. So
oh, no way.
Yeah, we embedded it. And it was like the birth of the band name. That's like how that came about. But yeah, you need to type in Reptile Room Band to find it.
To listen to some music.
Yeah. Otherwise, you're going to be like meeting a bunch of reptiles, amphibians, creepy crawlers, you know what I'm saying?
All right, Sammy, I really appreciate you doing this. This was a lot of fun. I hope we can do this again.
I hope so too. Yeah, call me. Call me.
Absolutely, we'll be in touch.
Me.
You got it.
Perfect.
All right, take care.
All right, you too.